you should have put part 2, but that's okay.
That's why I put continued.
Oh, it still says I'm live. Unless that's you, because there's already 2 likes on it, so that had to be another one. Unless... Maybe that's why I can't broadcast right now, because it's... It's weird. Yeah, it's like where it kicks at.
Oh my god, is it really gonna do this? Cause like I got this one live. It's not showing up. How are we gonna do this if it's not gonna show up?
So yeah, there's 2 live videos, that's what it says.
Oh, on mine it only shows yours.
On mine it shows yours.
Alright, well, I guess just post one.
And obviously I'm gonna press the working one. Oh, you put continue, I see that. Well, it's probably not gonna shut off until I have to turn my PS4 off, so I guess I'll do that after.
Sorry guys about the technical difficulties we're having right now. We're having so many technical difficulties.
Yeah,
It's just not our night. Yeah, it's just not our night. But if, like, I guess once that other one shuts off, y'all can go watch that for like the first 4 games. But we're here with our first tie. We did not have a tie last season at all. This is our first tie with Julio and slow it down, the new Texans user. I did not see this coming.
And
If I'm being honest, I did
this
not see
was...
this.
No, I did not either. This was a weird game, and yes, you could see Julio led the game in yards big time, but 7 turnovers.
Yeah,
So he was probably driving and driving, but then he'd get downfield, and then maybe he'd turn the ball over by a fumble or interception.
Oh yeah.
So that could be a huge difference maker if maybe even one of those turnovers went for like a field goal or a touchdown.
Yeah. All right. For passing though, Deshaun Watson, did he put in Sam Bradford over
Yeah, it
Watson?
looks like you benched Watson.
Really, I don't know why you'd bench Watson over Sam, but Sam Bradford 218 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times. Dak Prescott 351 yards, a touchdown, 7 interceptions, and 3 sacks. First game being acquired from the Cowboys.
Yeah, and going into rushing, you see Jay Ajayi, 31 attempts, 218 yards, and 2 touchdowns. No fumbles. Then the leader for the Texans was Lamar Miller, 14 attempts, 141 yards, and no touchdowns.
That's still a good
And
thing
he had
though.
no fumbles either, yeah.
In the receiving
Receiving.
game, our leading receiver was newly picked up Nash Fox, tight end, rookie out of Oklahoma, 5 receptions, 127 yards, 25.4 average, and a touchdown. And the Texans was also a tight end, C.J. Fedorowicz, 4 receptions, 64 yards, and a 16 average. Now, if we were to go over the Dolphins didn't have the greatest draft class. But he picked up this tight end and like 1 or 2 other players that were decent.
Yeah. And alright, moving over to the defense, you see Ndamukong Suh with 3 sacks from the Dolphins, and Dan Williams with 1.5 from the Texans.
Interceptions leading the Texans was Andre Hall with 2, and for Miami was Raquan McMillan with 1.
Alright, forced fumbles. Let's see if there's any. No forced fumbles at all, so every turnover was interception.
And there was
Hold up, there's a defensive touchdown.
Kevin Johnson.
But there's no fumble recovery, no forced. Maybe that was a field goal return then.
For what?
Well,
He had an interception.
oh god, I don't know why. I don't know. I had a brain fart there. Well,
Kick return, nothing, and punt return, nothing. Wow, that was a weird game. But
and I
good
mean
luck.
a tie.
Yeah.
This is not something you expect in Madden.
Good luck to both of y'all for the rest of y'all's season. Hopefully this tie doesn't get y'all down. Next.
All right. Well, it's gonna be interesting seeing how that tie works for the playoffs, though. But
Oh yeah.
we're still a long ways from that. All right. So the
Carolina.
next played game here, yeah, was the Panthers and the Saints.
Panthers, he usually has a really good season. I don't know what happened last season, but he's starting off the season great. 31-10 win over the New Orleans Saints, uh, beating them on every aspect of the ball. Still a lot of turnovers for both sides, 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Uh, player stats. Cam Newton still playing for the Panthers, 169 yards, a touchdown, 1 interception, sacked once. Drew Brees, 17 years in the league, still playing.
Wow.
147 yards, a touchdown, 4 interceptions, sacked 5 times.
Running. Not a big surprise.
Christian,
Christian McCaffrey leading the game with 18 attempts, 117 yards, a touchdown, and 3 fumbles.
holy Lord of mercy. And Alvin
Alvin,
Kamara. He was a rookie last year, but I don't know that name actually. 18
yeah,
attempts, 109 yards, a 6.1 average, and a fumble. But Christian McCaffrey did really well last season too. But the 3 fumbles, woo, that will kill you.
yeah, that's a surprise.
Also, for receiving, Christian McCaffrey leading for the Panthers.
So,
It looks like he made
have
him
you
into a
had,
dual threat running back.
yeah, if we were somehow able to do fantasy football based off this, you would have had a big day if you started Christian
Oh
McCaffrey.
yes, 10 receptions, 107 yards for 10.7 average, and leading for the Saints was Michael Thomas, 2 receptions, 61 yards.
All right, defense. 2 sacks for the corner, Captain Munnerlin.
I'm surprised
Leading
he's
sack.
still there. I'm surprised he's
Yeah.
still there.
And then a couple,
I guess
2 of them
half.
split the leading sack for the Saints.
Sheldon
Sheldon
Rankin.
Rankins and Trey Hendrickson.
Interceptions. Rookie out of Texas A&M. Strong safety. Deontay Sanders with 2. And Marcus Williams with 1.
All
James
right, let's
Bradbury
go
had to
see
have
who forced these fumbles.
Yeah.
2 by Bradley Schultz, the rookie. 1 by
Wow.
Todd Davis, and then 1 by Luke Kuechly. And
Still,
no fumble recoveries,
but there's
even
fumble
though,
yard,
yeah.
fumble return yards. Block kicks, none. Safeties, none. And defensive touchdowns, 1 by James Bradbury. And and
And
punt return,
there
Curtis
was,
Samuel. Congratulations though to the Panthers. Hopefully you can come back from last season. Good luck to both of y'all. Oh, who else we got? Who we got next? Who we got next? Rams and the
Rams and
Redskins.
Redskins.
Oof. 1. No turnovers for the Rams.
That's a good, yeah, that's really good.
Player stats: Jared Goff, 126 yards, a touchdown, sacked 3 times. Kirk Cousins, 79 yards, 4 interceptions, sacked 4 times.
Wow. And then leading rusher for the Rams, Todd Gurley with 141 yards, 21 attempts, and a touchdown. And then
Newly acquired Ty
Ty Montgomery.
Montgomery. Got him in the offseason.
Yep. And as you can see, 2 fumbles by Kirk Cousins. So not only did he throw the 4 interceptions, but he also had 2 fumbles.
Lord.
All right. Receiving here, not that big for any receiver, but the leading receiver was Sammy Watkins with 59 yards and 1 touchdown. And Jay Crowder was the leading receiver for the Redskins with 2 receptions and 40 yards.
Yeah. Oof. Defensively, Eli Harold with 3 sacks, and for Washington, Ryan Anderson with 2. Oof.
And 4 interceptions. A couple different people, each getting in on that. Let's see here.
Eli Harold, 2 forced fumbles.
Wow, he had a big game.
1 defensive touchdown by Alec Ogletree. Tavon Austin with the kick return touchdown. And that's
Wow,
it.
1 return for 108 yards. So he took it out of the back of the end zone.
And I guess that was a good decision by him. Congratulations to the Rams. Good luck to both of y'all. Long season ahead.
So this one, Packers and Seahawks here. Green Bay pitching a shutout.
Oh yeah. No, 6 turnovers by both sides.
Oof. And not much. I mean, at least the Packers were able to move the ball. The Seahawks really didn't have much going for them on offense at all. 72 rush yards. Maybe if you could have ran a little better.
Lord, neither passing game. Aaron Rodgers, 209 yards, 5 interceptions, sacked 5 times, and Russell Wilson, 72 yards, 3 interceptions, sacked 5 times.
I just want to bring this up. It looks like he benched Russell Wilson, brought in the rookie Bradley Nadio, and he didn't have a completion. He threw it 6 times, not a completion, and 3 of those were interceptions, and he was sacked twice. So, not really much going on there.
Rushing, newly acquired Jalen Peters, rookie from Clemson, 18 attempts for 150 yards and 8.3 average. And for the Seahawks, 18 attempts, 56 yards and 3.1 average for CJ Procise. Lord. A lot of people got some really good rookie running backs just to boost their season. And passing, Randall Cobb leading the Packers, 3 receptions, 53 yards. And the Seahawks, Jermaine Kearse, 2 receptions for 42 yards.
Not much there. We should see some good. We should see some good defensive stats though in this one.
In the sacks, Nathan Gary leading with 2 is Mike Daniels, but rookie out of Michigan State Nick Crawford left in with 1.5 for his debut game. I don't think that's a bad game for him.
Wow.
To come in and get 1.5 sacks.
Look at the interceptions here. The rookie Zach Kitna with 4. That is crazy. And Earl Thomas leading the Seahawks with 2. Wow. Let's check this out. Forced fumbles here, 1 by Earl Thomas. Then 1 touchdown by Zach Kitna. No kick returns, no punt returns.
Congratulations to Green Bay. He came in late last year, and he's making his statement this season. He's making a statement saying he's come out to try to make the playoffs and Super Bowl. But I got to take over for our lovely commissioner, or our lovely host, Lima, to talk about his game. You didn't have the greatest season, or the greatest start last season with your games. And we all know String Bean Mama Bear came out, had a great start, but had a really bad ending. You're looking to change that and go and win your division, come out, especially with this win, with 24-10.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out here swinging.
It doesn't look like much.
Nope.
In rushing, she won that. Y'all both had 1 turnover, but it looks because red zone efficiency, I guess. She owned the ball even longer too, but you still won off that. So let's go
yeah, go ahead.
No, what were we gonna say? Like, What
No,
were you thinking?
I wanna wait till after you're done talking about the
Okay.
stats. I wanna wait till after.
Okay, Derek Carr, one of his best games, 41 yards, sacked 0 times, and completed 5 out of 6. I think that's his best game. Blake Bortles, 125 yards, 1 interception, sacked 12 times. Like, do y'all see that? Sacked 12 times. That's what the Raiders should have been doing last season for you, but they did it. And it looks like, I guess you threatened to fire them, and they came out to play.
Pretty much. Pretty much here.
Interesting game. Your newly acquired Johnny Speed. He wasn't much for speed, was he? How much speed did he actually have?
No, he's fast. I mean, he's not. He doesn't have really high speed, but
He's
he's got
got
like
normal.
95 excel and 91 speed. But that excel works
Yeah.
out really good starting off.
Johnny Speed, rookie out of Bowling Green State. Like, that's a college you usually do not hear about. 22 attempts, 80 yards, 3.6 average, a touchdown, and a fumble, though. And for the Jets,
Yeah.
Christian Michael, 10 attempts, 68 yards, 6.8 average, and that was about it. Uh, Receiving game, biggest receiver was Austin Safarian Jenkins, 5 receptions for 45 yards. And for the Raiders, Jared Cook with 2 receptions, 29 yards. Defense, this is where it came down to, was defense. In the sacks, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go over all those because 12 for your team. 2 by Khalil Mack from the Silver and Black. You got 2 from Mario Edwards Jr., Mr. Sackmaster. Mr. Sackmaster. One and a half. Mr. Sackmaster. That's what we're calling him, guys. Mr. Sackmaster. Rookie out of Tennessee with 1.5. Wesley Woodyard with 1. Sean Smith with 1. Jarrell Casey with 1. Gilbert Moorhead, rookie out of Louisville with 1. Chris Casher with 1. Jahad Ward with 1. Half by Ben Heaney. Lord, so many sacks, guys. Interceptions wise, it says she had an interception too. Like, you threw one.
No, it was she.
Oh,
I didn't throw one. It
you
was the fumble.
fumbled.
She
There was the
recovered the
fumble.
fumble.
Wesley Woodyard, and this is the biggest thing is because I traded you both, Jarrell Casey and Wesley Woodyard, and he's played well for you even last season. He played well. 69
Yeah.
yards, 69 guys. You see that at 69. The forced fumble was by Mario Edwards Jr. and Avery Jones.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she did recover that forced fumble that Mario Edwards caused. But
Defensive touchdown by Wesley Woodyard. But what was your thought going through this game? Like, she did really well. You had a poor season. What was your thoughts?
and you know
This was
what's
a big
actually
game for
funny
you.
is actually I started this game off really bad. Like everything that she had came in the first half. Like all my sacks, every time I shut her down was the second half. Like first half, it looked like she was just gonna move the ball really easily, but I like turned up the blitz. I contained a lot better. And I mean, I really just started firing on all cylinders on defense.
Well, congratulations to you starting off your
There,
season
I
really
do
well.
want to. There was a kick return in this game.
Yeah, I
I
see
remember.
Cordero Patterson with that kick return. But congratulations, starting off the season
Yeah.
great. Hopefully, good luck to both of y'all for the rest of y'all
Yeah.
season.
And what I wanted to say here was before we started this. Um, so when you go and look at my stat line, don't pay attention to it because I'm telling you it's gonna be nasty the whole entire season. But you know what? I'm gonna keep getting wins, and they're all gonna be close games because that's just the style I play by. So don't look at my stats and think, oh, he got lucky or whatever. That's how it's gonna be this season.
I guess we should skip the Broncos and Chargers. That's really not a game to talk about. I'm just kidding. Uh, Leading AFC champion, well, not really champion, but AFC contender, going 15-1 last season. Broncos coming out here and just destroying the Chargers. I am sorry. He had negative 14 passing yards.
That's why I laughed.
Negative
That's the
14.
only reason I laughed because I
Like,
saw that
he's
negative 14 pass
he had
yards.
0 turnovers though. He didn't even own the ball. Chargers owned the ball most of the time. Oof. Let's get into this game. Phillip Rivers, 100 yards,
Wow.
6 interceptions, sacked 5 times. So where's the guy that had negative yards for passing?
No, it's because he was sacked. When you get sacked, it counts as negative yards for some reason.
Oh, it doesn't look. Oh, none of them had a completion or attempt. None of them had
So
anything.
the 2 times he dropped back to pass, he got sacked.
Lord, okay.
I can probably predict who had those 2 sacks too, but
In the rushing game, Jerome Thieves Bettis, rookie out of Clemson. A lot of Clemson
I
guys,
think it's
21
the
attempts.
bus.
The bus? Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it's the bus. We all know what he is. We all know what fan he is. If you don't understand who the bus is, go look it up. 21 attempts, 297 yards, 14.1 average, and 6 touchdowns. And then Melvin Gordon, not a bad game for Melvin Gordon though. 16 attempts, 122 yards, and 7.6, but he did fumble. It's
Yeah.
so weird though that MVP CJ Anderson is now being a second string, and the bus is gonna be his first stringer.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes here in Madden, and you can do anything you want.
Yeah, I'm not. There's nothing to even talk about with this. Like it's just all
No
Chargers.
receiving. Yeah, let's just skip the defense here.
Who had the sacks?
No
Oh,
surprise. Yep, Joey Bosa leading the Chargers with 1.5, and
Shaquille
Shaq
Barrett.
Barrett 2 for the Broncos.
Interceptions wise, 2 from rookie out of Alabama, Roy Hemingway. And you can't get an interception if he couldn't pass the ball.
No, no.
Forced
A forced
fumbles?
fumble by Von Miller.
Well, that's not a
Do you
surprise.
recover it? No. Defensive touchdowns. 2. One by Roy Hemingway, the rookie, and another by
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo Doss.
Kick return, nothing, and punt return, 2 punt return touchdowns.
Wow.
150 by Isaiah
Isaiah
McKenzie.
McKenzie. Wow, it's
Oof.
rare to see 1 but 2. Oh, congrats to your boy in that one. I mean, we'd all love to play a game having negative pass yards and still win 70-6. So,
Oh.
congrats on that one. I would just line up in freaking goal
Nope.
line every play against
Nope.
that. I mean, maybe not goal line, because if he gets past the first level, he's gone, but
Yeah.
shoot, you gotta get some penetration there somehow and get, but,
Lord.
alright. So, I guess this one's my game to talk about here.
Oh, yeah.
Titans and Patriots. So, wow, this 408 total yards by you, 248 by him. So it looks like you led him up like every stat line here. 2 turnovers for you, 5 for him.
That
Let's
one of
go
those
on.
turnovers was my fault. The other one, it was that weird bounce animation. It hit my guy and it just bounced. It was just like what?
All right, here. So Marcus Mariota, 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Tom Brady with 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. And a good completion percentage by Mariota, 79%. So he missed it 5 times, and 2 of those 5 were interceptions.
Yeah.
So the ball rarely hit the ground in that one for Mariota. Alright, coming into running here. Not much to talk about for the Patriots, but DeMarco Murray had 13 attempts for 102 yards, no touchdowns. It looks like there were no touchdowns on the ground at all this game. Alright, receiving, and wow, yep. Brandon Cooks, 3 receptions, 125 yards. That crazy speed. It's
But that's what got him in trouble was doing just throwing it up to Brandon Cooks.
and 7 receptions for Delaney Walker for 99 yards and a touchdown. Good job there. Moving on to defense. 2 sacks by Austin Johnson and 1.5 by Malcolm Brown. Let's see. Actually, a decent amount of sacks this game. But wow, 4 interceptions for Jayon Brown. That's looks to be your guy.
Uh, I worked him. He's a good player.
Wow, and then Malcolm Butler and Stephon Gilmore each leading the Patriots with 1 interception. Let's see here. Were there any forced fumbles? I don't believe so. No. Defensive touchdowns, 1 by Jayon Brown. So we did get a pick 6 there. Let's see. No kick returns, no punt returns. So that was a good game there for you.
It was going into it. It was a fun time for me. I was looking forward to facing this new Patriots user. I had fun doing it. Oh, Lord. And Devo showing up to show why he was the leader for the NFC last season, 44-6 against the Cardinals. And he led everything.
Yeah, this was pretty much a one-sided game here.
And going into passing though, CJ Beathard never really did very well last season, but he came in 239 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, sacked 6 times, and then Carson Palmer 72 yards and 3 interceptions, sacked once, and Nathan Peterman with 2 interceptions. Not really doing very well through the air again this season for the Cardinals.
Yeah, 5 interceptions thrown between the two. Alright, going into rushing, another good game by Joe Williams. 19 attempts, 176 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then the leading rusher from the Cardinals was David Johnson. 16 attempts, 102 yards, no touchdowns.
He wasn't around much last season. Got injured twice for very long periods of time.
Yeah.
And
then going over to receiving, yep.
His
Another
main
name
target,
we saw a lot last year.
His main target, yes. Kenny Golladay.
7 receptions, 230 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That man is a beast.
And for the Cardinals, Matt Gilbert, rookie out of Tennessee, with 2 receptions and 45 yards.
Alright, here, moving on to defense. We had 2.5 sacks by Marcus Golden. He was the leader for the Cardinals. And then we had a couple people tied at 1 for the Niners. Interceptions here. Tony Banks, the superstar rookie.
Yeah,
I only know he had superstar because I was looking to draft him like 3 picks after Debo took him, but that's how the draft works.
UT, go Longhorns. He came out of the Longhorn State. And then for the Cardinals, Buda Baker making himself a name still. And he forced fumbles too by Marcus Golden.
Wow. Did they recover any of those? Yeah, it shows Alt Smith with the recovery. The former Raider.
Former Raider going. And 1 defensive touchdown. Tony Banks. I think he's going to be a beast this season. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the user like Debo. That's going to be
punt
tough.
or kick return touchdowns, though. But congratulations, Debo, starting off a great season, and good luck to both of y'all. And time for our last game of week number 1.
Yeah, and another game where he led pretty much every stat line, except for kick return yards, but that really doesn't do much.
Yeah, Super Bowl champ coming in to start off a great season.
Man, a tough opponent starting off for the Super Bowl champion.
Matt Ryan, though, 332 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked once. Alex Smith, who he got last season for Dak getting injured, now taking over since he traded Dak. 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, sacked 3 times.
Alright. Rushing, Tevin Coleman, 22 attempts, 103 yards, and a touchdown. And then Zeke, wow, kind of stuffed up a little bit. 14 attempts, 66 yards, and 2 fumbles.
Oof. In the
Oh,
receiving
God.
game,
Randy Moss II led it for the Cowboys with 4 receptions, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
looks like he's
And then
bringing
Julio.
back that
Yeah,
Julio Jones
Julio
from.
Jones, 5 receptions, 117 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And only 5 run after catch yards. So everything was just a deep throw, and he caught it and was tackled basically.
In defense, though, for sacks, one for 4 different people. Dontari Poe, Taco Charlton, Vic Beasley, and Brian Poole.
Wow. 2 interceptions by Deion Jones, 2 by Keanu Neal, and 1 by Byron Jones.
Forced
Let's see, were there
fumbles.
any?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my lord.
Oh, wow.
Keanu Neal, Dontari Poe, Jalen Smith, rookie out of Louisville, Devron Benjamin, and John Lutulele. 4 fumble recoveries? 1
1.
by Darren Holmes.
Okay. Defensive touchdowns, none.
And no kick return or
Okay.
punt returns. Well, congratulations to MP Tiger Pride, the Falcons. Good luck to both of y'all for the rest of y'all season. Like we said, guys, even though if you lost game 1, it is a long season.
All right.
Going into week number 2.
All right. So there are a couple of really good matchups here that we could choose for this play of the game. Player game
Game
of
of
the
the
week. I'm
week.
sorry. I don't know
Game of
why
the week.
it's taking so long for me. Um, but Avengers, go ahead and tell them about our choice for game of the week this
Our
week.
choice, guys. Do you see all these choices? We have so many choices to go through. Like, there's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know, guys. What are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking? But I have to. I really would have to go with the Broncos at the Browns. And listen here, yeah, there's so many divisional matchups, but this is the top 2 AFC teams from last season. Got first round byes for the playoffs. Um, yes, we lost in the divisional, but and your boy lost in the conference. But these are the top 2 teams fighting to make it back to being the top 2 teams for the AFC. Um, and and the biggest thing for both of them is they're both run offenses. And we've seen what your boy can do. He was MVP with C.J. Anderson last season. And now he's got another person, the Buzz, who he's trying to win MVP again with. Uh, so that's why I'm choosing this game. That's why our game of the week is this.
Yeah, and I mean this is a good choice. You can really there's like 3 or 4 games here you could choose between. But I who do you see winning this game?
The obvious choice for most people would be to go with your boy. But we have to take into consideration your boy came off of a week 1 win. Ungwe came off of a week 1 loss. Ungwe's looking to redeem himself while your boy is looking to keep going. I think Ungwe's coming in here with a passion. Myles Garrett led the league in sacks with like 32 sacks, so I think he's going to stop that run on that side. Uh, so
You
I'm
know?
going to say Ungwe. I'm going to go with Ungwe on this. Ungwe's just going to have to really tone down the interceptions he causes with those throws.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to go against you on this one.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really hard to stop the bus. Like, that dude's got 90 trucking, which is ridiculous for a rookie coming out of the draft. But I mean, it's gonna be really tough for the Browns to stop that run game. But after seeing the stats from the Broncos game week 1, the Browns knows that he can just pretty much come out and run defense the whole game and just focus on the run. So if he can stop it, then he's the clear choice to win this game. But as of now, I gotta hand this one to the Broncos.
Okay, guys. Of course, the other thing we always do is stats, is the weekly awards. For week 1, we have Kenny Galladay with his 7 reception, 230-yard, 32.9 average, 3 touchdowns for NFC offensive. NFC defenses is the 5 tackling, 4 interception, 1 touchdown. Kitna. AFC offense is the buzz. Of course, 21 carries, 297 yards, a 14.1 rush average, 6 touchdowns. And AFC defensive is Jayon Brown, 4 tackles, 1 sack, 4 interceptions, and a touchdown.
And all these really good performances. 4 interceptions by both players on defense, and 230 receiving yards, 297 rushing yards, and 6 touchdowns. And those are all just really good stat lines.
So, we hope you do enjoy. Like, we always want y'all to come back for these. Sorry for the technical difficulties. They will be sorted out. It won't really happen. Um, but of course, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. We know y'all want to. We know y'all want to hit it. Hit that bell to know when we're live streaming, so y'all can come straight in. Hit the like button. Know that you support us. 10 like goal. 10. So we're asking. 10 like goal on every video. But of course, I am your host, Avengers. Alongside us is our host, Lima.
Alright, guys, we'll see you next week, and good luck to everyone. Hopefully, you guys all do well.
See you next time, my squad.